Hello guys, Mark O'Hare here for We Love Betting. The final weekend of the Football League season coming up, the regular season before the playoffs start towards the end of next midweek. Kind of sad to see the season peter out a little bit, and as I said last weekend, a lot of silly odds, silly prices around for the end of the season with many teams with little to play for. So quite hard to find a few Football League bets, but I think I picked out four actually for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. League One play on Sunday, the Championship kick-off early on Saturday, League Two as you are, 3 p.m. Saturday. So I've got two from the Championship, one League One and one in League Two as well. Starting in the Championship, because Saturday's 12:30 game on Sky Sports between Middlesbrough and Brighton really couldn't be bigger. It's essentially a playoff final. Winner is promoted to the Premier League. Loser goes into the playoffs. Middlesbrough just need a point. Brighton need to win promotion. I've got both teams in my anti-post selections. I have Middlesbrough to win each way, so I'm happy if they get second place. But Brighton also back them for promotion, so secretly hoping the Seagulls complete the job here. Unfortunately for these two teams, 88 points is what they're currently on. Would have been enough for automatic promotion in each of the last 14 seasons, which just goes to show what a fantastic campaign the two clubs have had. Middlesbrough, of course, were expected to go very close with the money they spent and the way they lost their position at the top of the table through the playoffs last year under Aita Karanka. Still, fantastic effort from them. Full credit to Burnley for already sealing the deal. So down to these two teams on Saturday. And I'm expecting quite a tight and tense encounter, similar to what you would see in a playoff final, really. With the stakes being so high, I think both teams will be a little bit nervous and too keen not to make a mistake too. Both, of course, very solid defensively. I know Brighton are missing Lewis Dunk through suspension, but to be honest, that's probably not the biggest miss, with Gordon Greer ready to step into his shoes. The club captain, Lewis Dunk, a highly rated defender, had a fantastic couple of campaigns, but this year he's been very hit or miss for Brighton. Nevertheless, the Seagulls, they've won 9, drawn 11 and only lost twice on the road. Unbeaten in 13 now across all games, 9 wins and 4 defeats. Just the one loss in 19, 13 wins, 5 draws and 1 defeat. So they know how to avoid defeat, do Brighton. And in terms of half-time draws, which is the bets I'm looking for here, they've drawn 13 of the 22 away games at half-time. Middlesbrough themselves, well, they've won 16, drawn 4 and lost 2 at home. Unbeaten at the Riverside since January, but only conceded 7 goals at home all season. There's no better team defensively than Aita Karanka's men here. Half-time draws for Middlesbrough, it's banked in 12 of their 22 games. So you're looking at a 55% and a 59% success rate when these two teams play at home and away. That's pretty solid. I'd be surprised if there's a first half goal here. So I'm back in the half-time draw, 0-0 at 7-4. I think that's a good starting point for that game. A nice 0-0 half-time draw, 7-4, decent price. Moving on then, Preston take on Leeds, two teams with little to play for. But Leeds surprisingly beaten at home to Charlton last weekend. Of course, cost me a few quid on that. They had 1-3, drawn 1 and lost 0 in the previous 4, looking good as well. Steve Evans and the club seem committed to completing the season in decent form and finishing in the top half too. They're currently on the cusp of the top half from 12th. Away from home though, Leeds have been pretty decent. 7 wins, 8 draws and 7 defeats. Exclude the top 3, Middlesbrough, Brighton and Burnley, and they've won 7, drawn 8 and lost 4. Very impressive figures when playing away from home. Preston come into this game with just 3 wins and 12, 4 draws and 5 defeats. At home, just 7 wins all season as well. And if you exclude teams below, or 16th and below for Preston, when they're playing at home, they've only won twice. Of course, they've only scored 20 home goals all season. That's the second worst home tally this campaign as well. I do like Preston. I do like what Simon Grayson's done. I think they've had a fantastic season. I'm not overly surprised by their success either. So strong defensively. But I think they're a little bit, just a little bit too short coming into this game, in my opinion. Leeds have avoided defeat in 15 of their 19 games outside of the top 3 away from home, and Preston winning just twice in 13 at home to the top 15. I like the look of Leeds, plus 0.25 in the Asian handicap market. just to be clear on that, we'll make money if Leeds avoid defeats. You get a half stakes win if the game ends in a draw, a full stakes win if Leeds actually win the match. And the price is 7-6 with Bet Victor. So, odds against on Leeds to avoid defeat is decent in my opinion here. Moving on then, 3 p.m. Saturday, Accrington take on Stevenage. Accrington need a win to secure promotion. They've been the best team in League Two all season. I think that's borne out in the shots on target ratio figure. Their total share of the top shots on target in their matches, 65%. It's better than any other team. It creeps up to 67% when they're playing at home as well. 11 wins at home. 7 of those 11 wins have seen both teams to score. And both teams to score has banked in 18 of their 22 home games, as they scored at least twice in 12 of those. They love goals, do Accrington. Stevenage pitched up. They've actually steadied the ship recently. 3 wins, 4 draws, 1 defeat in 8, including 4 clean sheets. They've concentrated on keeping things tight at the back. It's kind of cost them in their attacking threat going forward, but away from home, they seem to be having no trouble scoring goals. Only failed to score in 5 of their 22 away games, 16 of which saw both teams to score, and 11 defeats in that time too, keeping just the 1 clean sheet. You'd expect Accrington to score at least twice here, but throwing a Stevenage goal into the mix and you've got Accrington to win, both teams to score. It's 85-40 with Bet Victor, better than 2-1, and I think that's a nice little runner. Finally, on to Sunday, 2 more teams with little to play for. Swindon against Shrewsbury, 12:30 kickoff. Shrewsbury, no more than pride to play for now. They secured their status in League One for another season. Their last 11 matches have been superb for goals fans. All of them have banked in both teams to score market. 9 of them have seen over 2.5 goals. 43 goals in total at a rate of 3.91 per game. Away from home too, the goals have been flowing. 15 of 22 away games have seen both sides score. 13 have seen 3 or more goals. They've scored in 17 of their 22 away games, scored at least twice in 9 of those away games, but only kept the 4 clean sheets. Immediately you got to look towards the goals market. With little to play for, this might be an open, attacking, quite exciting game too. Swindon, always good for goals. They've scored in 18 of their 22 home games, scored at least twice in 11 of those, kept just 2 clean sheets at the county ground all season, 16 of which have seen both sides score, 15 have seen over 2.5 goals. Combine the 2 goals markets, over 2.5, and both teams to score, and you're looking at I think it's 5-6 with Stan James is the price, which is a value price if you look at the statistics. So there you have it. I'll be back for the playoffs, hopefully. Apologies, there's no complete written feature on this weekend or last weekend. I'm away this weekend and been focusing quite a lot on the Euros. Plenty still to come on the Euros in the coming weeks, which I'm sure we'll release on the website shortly. Hope you've had a good season and good luck this weekend. See ya.